Hello, everybody. A friend sent me this and she said, "Okay, Smarty Pants, what would you do with this photo?" And I said, "No problem, bring it." So here we are. This is a very advanced subject, and let me get started. The problem with this photo the problem with this photo and photos like this is that trees have a lot of detailed information and leaves have a lot of detailed information, and it can be like it can be an overload of information. We have all these, it gets monotonous, and so then again, and if it's monotonous it gets boring, and we don't like boring, we like interesting. You could tell right away that the idea was to capture the sun hitting the trees up there, and that makes sense a little bit. Here some looks like some clouds, red clouds through the trees or something like that. This is kind of ugly. It's just a plant. It doesn't add any value. We have some darkness over here, and then we have this tree sticking up there. This is a difficult one because when you look at a picture or a painting, your eyes have a certain field of view. There's a certain amount of information we can look at that we see clearly and makes sense to us and we could interpret. And then there's peripheral information. So if I look at this is purely based on how close I am to the picture. And I think I'm probably about 7 or 8 inches from this. This is on my iPad and I'm sitting in a chair. If I was 7 or 8 inches and this was 60 foot high and it was a painting on a wall, like obviously my field of view is very, very narrow because I could only see what's in front of me. And you would have to step back to see the whole image. But if you're looking at this on the phone, or if you're about a foot or 18 inches away, you probably have about as much view as that. Is as much as you could take in at the same time, at one time. And then your eye will start to move around, probably up here first, because that looks interesting. And probably, why on earth would anybody take a picture of that bush, you'd probably think, and what is she doing with this photo? But the point in all of that saying is there's way too much information in this photo if you're going to be looking at it on an iPhone or on a computer screen or something like that. What I would do to make it interesting is look at the shapes of the trees and try and frame it around the shape of the tree. So we have the shape here. I would cut it here, lose what the point of the photo was this red, lose it on this side. I would cut it down here because that doesn't add anything. It's kind of dark. And I would focus the story on the silhouette of the branches of the trees with the background. And that's exactly what I would do. So let's take a look. On the left-hand side, I'm going to pull this so it makes this match that. So I have this shape where the 2 corners are lined up with the 2 trees. So that immediately gives us symmetry in this photo, which is nice. And I believe that's probably the most interesting part of this photo. At the bottom, there's nothing interesting. It's just kind of dark. So I would pull this up to about there. You could go further if you want to. I would probably leave it right there and call it done. Now we have this nice shape here. And all these trees kind of play off the clear sky. And we have a nice silhouette of all these trees. We got some of the sunlight. Obviously, we lose a lot of the sunlight hitting the tops of the trees. We have some leaves on this side. And then it just gets darker here. This is kind of unimportant, but it fills in. But this is probably a very beautiful fall day, and I think this is a better composition. Probably misses the point of her story. Let's take a look. I think this is easier to look at. Yeah, I think as your eye wanders down, it gets very uncomfortable when you look at that bush with all that detail with the green leaves at the bottom, on the bottom left. I think this just captures more of the sense of the beauty of the trees against the sky in the evening sun. I think, because I'm just guessing, that's what I kind of feel. But you may have come up with different decisions, and that's okay. I'd love to know if you did, why. You could also, on this one, get rid of that brown tree. That might work better. It does change the proportion, and you kind of lose sense of the ground at this point, but that is another option. If you want to be an artiste, we're going to be an artiste. We're doing this, actually. Yeah, that's what we're doing as an artiste. Because now we have a definite play against the clear sky and the trees and the branches. It's this very high contrast. You got about the same amount of sky as you have area with the trees. So you could do that too. I bet this is the last time she asked me to comment on one of her photos. We'll see. I hope you enjoyed it, but I hope even more that you like and subscribe. I really do. And leave a comment because basically that's how YouTube works, so I could get more views. And I should tell you, all this is because I have this app called Drive Weather, and that's what I'm trying to sell. And I know you're thinking like, well, you're trying to sell an app that you tells you the weather on your route and you're making composition videos. I'm like, yes, I know. Sounds crazy, but there you have it. And this is just fun, I guess. Anyway, see you in the next video.